Hello everyone, hope you all are well and given your exam very nicely. Hope you all have followed the guidelines of your question papers and according to that you have written all the answers. Very soon I will be getting all the good answer script in front of me, and in a very short of period you are going to have your model answer in front of you. Okay. Before that, let's start our classes. So, we were in the chapter number 11, Bhakti and Sufi movements. I know that in this span of time to preparing your examination, maybe this part of the Bhakti and Sufi movement is not properly clear in your mind. So let's take a very short recap in this class about the Bhakti and the Sufi movement. Let's revise the things what we had already discussed in our class in a new way, in a very short class. The medieval period of Indian history saw the efforts to reform religion through two movements. What are the movements? The Bhakti movement and the Sufi movement. While the Bhakti movement was aimed at reforming the Hindu religion, the objectives of the Sufi movement was to reform Islam. So we can understand both of these movements were against the rigid practices of the religious rituals and the divisions of human beings in the different classes. They want to unite people into the ground of brotherhood, into the ground of universal brotherhood, and believe in one God. So, what was Bhakti movement? What was the meaning of the term Bhakti? Bhakti is a devotional worship directed to one supreme deity. It stressed the union of devotees with the God, where they attained a trance-like a state. The concept of Bhakti movement that grew in South India in 8th century CE and spread to North India into the late medieval period. The event of Muslim rule. The Bhakti means the complete devotion and love to God. This devotion is directed towards a particular form of God. A Bhakti is a devotee who follows the path of Bhakti for union with God or salvation. A Bhakti worship is a particular form of God such as Vishnu, Krishna or Rama. What are the causes of the rise of Sufi and Bhakti movement? The few things that we know common that they want to come out from the rigid and complex evil practices of the Hindu society. They want to be in the part of a very united, liberal, religious brotherhood form of India. So, what are the causes behind the Sufi movement? The differences between Shias and Sunnis created lots of problems into the society of Islam. This led to the prolonged mutual hostility and a bitter quarrels between these two sects. This religious conflict, marked by extreme intolerance, posed a serious threat to the Islamic principles of brotherhood and monotheism. There was an increasing tendency among the Muslim rulers and nobles to lead their lives of luxury, opulence, indulgence, and this was opposed the Islamic principles of simple living and piety. Sufism aroused a reaction and response to these trends into the Muslim society. The liberal reforms movement was started to restore the unity and harmony among the Muslims. Now the causes of rise Bhakti movement. With the passage of time, the Hindu religions had become very rigid, complex, and many evil practices and beliefs had crept into Hindu society. The rigid caste system led to social inequality, injustice, and the exploitation and oppression of the lower castes by the tyrannical higher caste. Elaborate, expensive, meaningless rituals prescribed by the Brahmins imposed to the crushing financial burden for the poor people. It was a trouble to carry the religious things into their shoulders because that was a very big financial burden for them. People belonging to the lower castes, especially to the Sudras, could not understand the hymns and the mantras because they were not allowed to study Sanskrit or any religious text. The Islamic principles of equality, brotherhood, one God, monotheism is encouraged to the people of Bhakti movement, and they want to build a very strong, united, liberal India. And that is why from there the Bhakti movement started. Then in our class we had discussed about the teachings of Sufism and the teachings of Bhaktis, right? So these are very easy, like there is only one God, everyone is equal in the eyes of God. God can be reached through love, devotion, the total surrender to His will. Through the rites, rituals, or idol worship, everyone should lead a very pure life, right? Qawwalis, we get to know about the Qawwalis. It is very necessary in Sufism to follow a pir or a guru. There is no need to convert into another religion. Facts and other rituals are not necessary to reach the God. Different religions are different paths leading to the way of one God. There is only one God and people all are His children. We know about Ramananda, Kabir, Guru Nanak, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Mirabai, Alvas, Naina, Sankaracharya, Jaineshwara were some of the great reforms of Bhakti movement. We had discussed about them in our class. If you can't understand something, you need to know more about them, you can follow my previous classes to get to know about them more and more. Next day, in our class, we are going to discuss about the question answers. And before that, I request you all to read the chapter within the time, so it will be helpful to discuss all the answers with you. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.